Happy Friday, everybody. Gio here from the Fandom United podcast. I hope all of you had a great work week and have an even greater weekend ahead. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day, but it's also the weekend of Snyder Cut. Yep, the trailer is finally on the way. Another trailer. It's been since DC Fandom since we've had one. So it's definitely an exciting time to be a DC fan and a comic book movie fan. So let's start off with the Snyder Cut trailer first. The trailer's not out yet. Again, February 14th, Sunday at 9:14 a.m. The trailer will debut. Stick around for the trailer reaction. Please do subscribe. But let's break down the clips that were released. As of this recording, there are 2 so far. And let's start off with the first one. And what we're going to do is play the clips, and then we're going to run it back and closely examine some of the things that you may have missed the first time. So let's start off with the first one. Oh, you should not be excited about that, man. Okay, let's run it back. So it opens with Steppenwolf, and man, look how the light reflects off the armor. God, incredible visual effects. And he's using his axe, and what I'm assuming is, okay, there's the Omega symbol and the anti-life equation, which, reminder, the anti-life equation is what Darkseid uses to control Superman. Remember, I've been talking nightmare sequences this whole time. Remember in BVS when Batman was in the desert? That takes place in the future, where Superman has turned. He's succumbed to the anti-life equation, and he's evil. That's why Batman's trying to stop him. That's why he presumably recruits Joker and Deathstroke in this movie. But there's the anti-life equation right there with the Omega symbol. And I'm assuming that could either be one of 2 places. That could be in Themyscira, right after he takes the Mother Box from the Amazonians, or it could be towards the climactic battle where that's where he sets up his base and the Mother Box and all the parademons, and that's where the Justice League goes, the League goes to stop Steppenwolf. So let me know your predictions on that as far as location goes, and let's continue. So again, beautiful. And then we get Batman driving through, and again, that was a familiar place, that little abandoned town. Remember in the 2017 movie, at the end, it was all like orange, red sky, and CGI wasn't that good. Snyder's going back to his original tone, his original coloring, and it's a great shot of the Batmobile driving through and probably gunning down parademons. And then this shot right here of an Amazonian using her bow is probably from an early flashback. Remember, on that DC Fandom trailer where it opens with Euxis using his weapon toward the screen, and this is probably part of that war sequence where the Amazonian takes down one of Darkseid's ships. Your Euxis ships, I should say. And then this right here is probably that underground tunnel fight where they first encounter Steppenwolf and the parademons, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Flash, and Batman. And so we're gonna get more of that. And next up, boom, right here. Now, obviously, Superman front and center, black suit, laser eyes, but behind him is believed to be a boom tube, which is what the villains use with the Mother Boxes to go and transport to different places. And this is the money shot right here. Boom. Zack Snyder's Justice League coming soon, and the trailer February 14th. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, we're gonna talk about that shot. Yes, sir. All right, let's run it back. So, starts off with the league, going into final battle. Now, this right here, I'm assuming that's part of the nightmare sequence. So, I think the forces of Darkseid are going to maybe go and invade wherever Batman is and his allies. Remember, Joker, Deathstroke, Mira, I think Flash as well. And so this very well could take place in the future. And boom, right here. This is the money shot. Okay, so front and center is fully grown Darkseid. Remember in the opening of the DC Fandom trailer, he was just a baby at that point. And to his right, our left, is his right-hand man, Desaad, and he's described as one of Darkseid's henchmen. He's a scientist slash torturer. And so remember, we got a shot of him in the DC Fandom trailer. And to his left, our right, is our first look at Granny Goodness. Zack Snyder confirmed that is Granny Goodness. And my goodness. In case you don't know who she is the lieutenant to Darkseid's forces. She runs an orphanage in Apocalypse, and also is the leader of the Female Furies, a group of deadly female warriors who serve Darkseid. So here, I'll show you an image as soon as we go through this. Yep, the money shot. Batman using his guns, parademons, that's a must. The end battle ends Flash running, sprinting towards either Steppenwolf to stop him, the mother boxes, or he could be using the Time Force to jump into another point in time. There will be some sort of time traveling in this movie, reportedly. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that speculation. Yep, Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer coming in 2 days as of this recording. Again, stick around, subscribe, and check out that trailer reaction that I'm going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here's that image I told you about with Darkseid, Desaad, and Granny Goodness. Yeah, the money shot, beautiful. You see the Omega symbols in the back. Man, they're giving us everything. They're giving us everything in this movie, and they should, because as I've stated and reported in previous videos, not really reported, just talked about, Zack Snyder is not betting on another movie happening. He's treating this as what we've heard through various reports of it being a cul-de-sac, a movie that's going to lead nowhere. I call BS on that, but that could just be me being the DC fan that I am. But let me know your thoughts. You looking forward to this? What do you think about those money shots? Superman, black suit, Granny Goodness. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. You'll have to excuse me, guys. I'm fighting a dry cough, and it's a little difficult to be doing this, but I can't wait. I got to talk about this stuff, so you have to excuse me. All right, so the next piece of news is from actress Robin Wright, who plays fan favorite General Antiope in the Wonder Woman movies. She expresses interest in returning to the character, and I have a quote here that I want to read about the idea of possibly coming back for an Amazonian spin-off movie. And she says, "Oh, I would jump at that in a second if that was ever to come to fruition. That was so much fun making those movies. That's a great idea. The whole youth of Diana, you should propose that. Let's make an Amazonian movie." Well, if we are to believe Warner Brothers, Robin Wright, they are in active development of an Amazonian spinoff. That was announced after the first movie released, and its opening weekend was a success. The reviews were a success as well. And yeah, they are doing apparently an Amazonian spinoff movie. I can't imagine Patty Jenkins would direct. She's pretty busy now with Wonder Woman 3 and also Rogue Squadron for Lucasfilm. So I'd imagine somebody else would come in to direct this, which, wouldn't maybe isn't a bad thing. Get somebody else have a crack at this, somebody who's just as passionate about this world. I'm eager to go back to Themyscira. I think maybe some of the, an argument can be made. Some of the best scenes of those Wonder Woman movies are set in Themyscira. I love that world. Love the Amazonians. Love Robin Wright as General Antiope. So yeah, I'd be all for it. Robin Wright's for it. I imagine Connie Nielsen as Queen Hippolyta is all for it. Are you for it? Let me know in the comments. Robin Wright, General Antiope returning, Amazonian spinoff. So exciting. And yeah, we're going to move on to the next piece of news. HBO chief Casey Bloys explains HBO Max's approach to doing the multiverse along with Warner Bros. In their theatrical movies. And he kind of breaks it down for us what the approach will be. I have a quote here, and it says, "It's been one of Ann Sarnoff's, who's Warner Media CEO, one of her priorities to organize the DC world to make sure that the universe is logical and makes sense. She talks about the flywheel, that the movies speak to the TV shows, that speak to the movies, that it's all connected." And we're going to get our first preview of that with Peacemaker. Peacemaker being a character in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, who's getting his own spinoff show starring John Cena. And it's been confirmed that show will release January 2022. The HBO chief continues to say, "It's one of the things in terms of Warner Media today versus Time Warner 5 years ago. I have regular conversations with Warner Brothers film chief Toby Emmerich and DC content chief Jim Lee, and we talk about all the things in a way that never would have been discussed before. That's probably how you got a little DC over here, a little DC over there, etc. The idea going forward is that we're talking with one voice about the DC universe. It's a really valuable world to have, and we want to make sure we're using it correctly." Okay, this sounds great. I'm glad you're recognizing that DC is a really valuable world to have. You should have recognized it 5 years ago, okay? When you screwed over your filmmakers, when you screwed over your actors, actresses, directors, and writers, Warner Brothers, they screwed everybody. But now, apparently, they're getting back on the right track. And you have to excuse me if I'm not, up throwing arms up in joy, celebrating, because a part of me is looking at this and being like, okay, it sounds like there's too many cooks in the kitchen again. Okay, first off, Jim Lee, the DC content chief, great guy. Really impressed with his work that he did at DC Fandom, the design of Hall of Heroes, that whole thing, amazing. Toby Emmerich. I just talked about Toby Emmerich in a previous video. You can look it up in the quick clips section. He does not want the Snyder Cut to succeed because in doing so shows that they made the wrong move in 2017 by not pushing back Justice League, forcing other people to come in, and then ripping that movie apart. That's on Toby Emmerich. Okay, and now he's a part of this future that apparently they're going to get right. I'll believe it when I see it. And who's the other one? Ann Sarnoff, Warner Media CEO, the one who backed Walter Hamada, gave him an extension, even after Ray Fisher called him out. Yeah, look, the difference this time is that they have HBO Max, okay? So maybe a lot of their content that they announce doesn't end up in development hell, like that Deadshot movie. Maybe it finds a life on HBO Max. So, I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts. What do you think of this? You think it's BS or maybe they're doing something? So we won't know how serious they are about this until we see the Suicide Squad and then Peacemaker and see how those two connect, and then from there we can make a fair assessment. But for now, I'm on a wait and see approach. So we'll wait and see. All right, so let's go back to this Ray Fisher Warner Media investigation, because some pretty big news has dropped. So it's been mostly quiet ever since Ray Fisher, called out Walter Hamada after he was written out of The Flash, and there hasn't been much noise. But that all changed when one actress who has worked with Joss Whedon, who participated in the Warner Media investigation, decided to come forward via Twitter and once again expose the director and back Ray Fisher as supporting his claims. So here's the tweet from Charisma Carpenter: "My truth, hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher." I won't read the whole thing because it's pretty lengthy and it goes into detail and it's pretty sensitive. But I will highlight this section of the tweet. And it reads: "Recently, I participated in the Warner Media's Justice League investigation because I believe Ray to be a person of integrity who is telling the truth. His firing as Cyborg in The Flash was the last straw for me. Although I'm not shocked, I'm deeply pained by it. It troubles and saddens me that in 2021, professionals still have to choose between whistleblowing in the workplace and job security. It has taken me so long to muster the courage to make this statement publicly. The gravity of it is not lost on me. As a single mother whose family livelihood is dependent on my craft, I'm scared. Despite my fear about its impact on my future, I can no longer remain silent. This is overdue and necessary. It's time." So, more proof, more witnesses, more evidence that maybe Ray Fisher isn't lying. And I've never once really accused him of it at all. I just, I think again about how careful Ray Fisher has to be with this information that's being shared from these brave individuals, and the fight that he's trying to win with not just Warner Brothers, but with this work culture in Hollywood. And it definitely once again puts Warner Brothers in a bad light, and Joss Whedon as well. You could be a fan of his work, a fan of his films, but I think back to a quote that Steve Wozniak, played by Seth Rogen, and Steve Jobs said about, "It's not binary. You can be decent and gifted at the same time." And it's becoming more and more clear that that's not Joss Whedon. It's not. Okay? You can still be a fan of Avengers, Age of Ultron, Serenity, and Buffy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Walter Hamada doesn't come out and apologize to the witnesses of the Justice League investigation. Because this is very, very unfortunate. Is it surprising? Not that really. Shit like this has been going on in Hollywood for decades. But it's a new world out there. So, anyways, just wanted to share that update with you. Ray Fisher, keep fighting a good fight. We're with you. And, can't wait for your Cyborg character in Snyder Cut. It's going to be awesome. All right, so now we're going to move on to a segment I call Another News, which is news outside of the world of DC in Hollywood that I find interesting. And we have two bits of news to discuss. The first is something that I never knew I needed until I heard about it. And that piece of news is Jason Momoa reportedly offered the role of Knuckles in the Sonic the Hedgehog sequel. That's right. Knuckles will be making his appearance in the next Sonic movie, and they're offering Jason Momoa the role to voice the character. Knuckles is described as a serious yet gullible character, and I think that's perfect for Jason Momoa. I mean, the first movie was so much fun and such a delight, and I think this is perfect for Jason Momoa. Certainly more suitable than Frosty the Snowman. But man, Knuckles, Jason Momoa, I can already imagine it, and it's gonna be awesome. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you have somebody else in mind? Like I said, I really enjoyed that first movie. Jim Carrey, vintage Jim Carrey. Sonic, much better design. James Marsden, fun sidekick. Yeah, I'm so excited for Sonic the Hedgehog, which is actually coming out next year. That's pretty damn quick. And it's great news if you ask me. So hopefully they get Jason Momoa for the Knuckles role. He's my favorite character in the Sonic world. Actually, I take that back. Shadow is my favorite character, but Knuckles is a very close second. Anyways, let's move on to the other news that I have, and that is the possibility of Pacific Rim and Godzilla Kong crossover. Apparently, that was in the works, according to Pacific Rim Uprising director Steven DeKnight. A fan asked him below, "Hey Steve, fancy a shot at the Pacific Rim Godzilla vs. Kong crossover?" And the director replied, "That was actually my long-term plan. Pacific Rim 3 was structured to end in a way that married the two universes." And you know what? I think we're still going to get that. I really do. I think Godzilla vs. Kong is going to be a big hit, a massive hit. And Warner Brothers and Legendary, they're going to wonder, how can we make this world even bigger? Well, you know what else? Another property that's under Warner Brothers and Legendary, Pacific Rim. It makes sense. They fight kaiju monsters. Okay? What is in Godzilla and Kong's world? Monsters. There's at least 17 of them. I can't imagine all of them will be, good forever. Bring in the Pacific Rim. I want to see this so badly. I think it makes so much sense. And you know what? I'm predicting right now that's going to happen. They're going to find a way to make it happen. And that's just one more franchise for us to enjoy, hopefully on the big screen someday. Let me know your thoughts on Pacific Rim Monsterverse if you think that'll happen. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Fandom United. I've been battling a dry cough this whole entire time, but I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the subscription. Come back Sunday for a trailer reaction to Zack Snyder's Justice League, my most anticipated movie of the year. I cannot wait. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Until then, you guys be safe. Have a great weekend.